Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here to do the readings for the air signs, and this will be for the lovely sign of Libra. A little apology for yesterday, life got away with me and I didn't get round to doing your reading, so it's a day late. Sometimes life just goes that way. Unfortunately, we do not see things coming. It can be in the smallest of things, like trying to tape a video where the camera just keeps cutting out, or it can be in the big things where somebody just turns up with something that you weren't expecting. Anyway, Libra, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I thank you for sharing my video. I want to say a big thank you for those coming to me for personal readings, donating to my channel, and the beautiful things you do for me. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you on board. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below and also click the bell, which will remind you of when I'm going live or I'm posting new readings. I do go live on YouTube every Wednesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time, although next week it will be Australian Eastern Daylight Time, Daylight Saving this weekend. So please join me. If you would like to get a question answered, I do questions for a small donation. If the reading doesn't resonate with you, I do ask you to check out your moon, your rising or ascendant, and your Venus. If you're unsure how to do that, and a lot of people are writing to ask me, you can go to one of the major channels that provide reports or birth reports, natal charts, and they will do it for free. So you can get a report for yourself around what planets were in your chart when you were born. Now, somebody wrote to me the other day and said, I can't get one done because I don't have my date of birth. Well, that's not true. You can still do a natal chart, but you won't get your ascendant, and maybe one or two of your planets will be slightly different because you don't have the time of birth. But you can actually pay someone to work out what sign you were when you were born. That's always good too. A couple of people have commented on it before on the channel. Some people don't believe it will work. If you're really in tune, you can actually probably work it out for yourself. But anyway, so if the reading does resonate with you, though, I do ask that you give it a thumbs up. I do ask you to do that to help me grow the channel. And I want to say a big thank you to you in advance. So, all right, we're going to use the Ethereal Tarot for your reading today. And we're starting off with the Five of Wands. This card has showed its face in a few readings this morning. Now, the Five of Wands is a card that can talk about conflict with other people. It's about sometimes, you know, it's the bickering. It's not fighting. It's not sort of fight to the death, but it's not about walking away. It's about going back and sort of saying your piece. I find this card comes up mostly when people are stuck in some sort of thinking or decision making. So it very often for me is the do I, don't I card, or could I, can't I, should I, shouldn't I, that sort of energy, where you're going backwards and forwards, deliberating with yourself or questioning yourself on what you want. There seems to be some sort of closing. I actually feel like there's a betrayal or somebody has let you down here. And maybe you're concerned or you're thinking, do I want to continue with this or do I want to walk away? Something is closing here. Maybe a friendship. Yeah, you're very, very disappointed. The Page of Pentacles is coming through, though, to almost say that whatever's happened here was inevitable. It's some sort of gift from the universe here. So something you're being shown or given that's going to help you see things in a very different way. You've got a new perspective. Now, you could be dealing with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio here. Maybe someone with the moon that hasn't really... Okay, Ten of Pentacles coming through. Okay. I feel like somebody here is not telling you how they feel. I feel like this person, possibly a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, has really big feelings here, but they're not expressing them. Now, I feel like here there may have been a little bit of deliberation on whether to move away from this situation or not, but I feel like you're moving away. I feel like you're giving up on something. But the universe is saying you've done the right thing here. Walking away from this person was the right thing to do because they were not letting you know how they felt here. The Ten of Pentacles is here. So there's sort of this energy. It's a really strange energy because what we're talking about is you being abundant from walking away. So you've done the right thing walking away, but it still left you with heartache and pain because you do not know, you do not have closure. The Nine of Pentacles here, though, is a really good card to see, because what they're saying here is what you've done is for you, and that's what you were meant to do. So many of us learning about codependency at the moment within relationships. And I always say, you know, people think codependency isn't such a bad thing, but what they're talking about is dependency. And there is room for dependency in a relationship. You know, sometimes we're not feeling up to something. We may lean on our partner a little bit to get things done. There are times when dependency is very, very important. Codependency is a very different thing. Codependency is not healthy. It's not good for a relationship, because when you're codependent, you are putting the other person's needs above your own. So what you're saying is, in this relationship, I am not worthy of being equal to you, so therefore I will worship you and do everything for you, but mostly I will avoid my own feelings and my own needs to serve you. Very unhealthy. It comes from an energy from someone who talked about this, I think in the 60s, but you will, if you're interested, you could read a book by Melanie Beattie, and what it talks about is people who are drug addicts, right? So if a person was living with a drug addict and they were getting angry or upset because they couldn't get drugs, the codependent would provide them with all those things, because it was better for them to have peace and quiet rather than having somebody angry around them. So that relationship becomes very, very toxic. And that's what happens in codependency. It's very toxic. So very different dependency. All right, so we have a truth coming through here. This is somebody delivering a truth. This is clarity. This is a brand new start, but this time things are being done differently. So we'll see why that is here. So, you know, if you've got someone who you're not speaking up to, who treats you really poorly, and you still continue to live with them and ignore their behavior, there's a good chance that you are codependent. Now, it doesn't always happen that someone who's codependent is necessarily wrong, bad, or whatever for that behavior. Sometimes it's a learned behavior. But the codependent, it's very much avoiding conflict and speaking up for what they want or for what they rightly feel that they should have in a relationship. But it really is about the codependent understanding their behaviours in that situation. But the swords here always talk about the truth, and we do have the Four of Wands coming through. The Tower's been making a lot of appearances in the readings today, and the Queen of Swords. I feel like you're taking something in hand here, Libra. You're coming up with this Queen of Swords, but this Tower and the Four of Wands, it sort of feels like this energy that's come from you that you've never known before, because you're speaking up for something or making a stand on something because you seem to have found your voice here. So there's a feeling here that you've almost shocked yourself in this energy. So somehow or another you're finding the willpower, or you're finding the energy, whatever you'd like to see it as, for standing up for something that you believe in here. And you're expressing it in a very big way, because it's creating not just a change in you, but a change in this whole situation. All right, let's keep going. Six of Pentacles. You're turning someone around here, which is really good. All right, Three of Cups coming through with the Page of Swords. There is somebody, I'm going to read this. I've done this a couple of times today. It's sort of thrown me a little bit where Spirit's going today. The Five of Wands here talks about conflict. There's some sort of energy of you going backwards and forwards on a closure. Maybe you can't make up your mind whether to finish something, walk away, leave it alone. I feel like somehow the universe is saying it's the right thing to do. I feel like you're dealing with somebody here who is holding very strong Pisces, Cancer energy coming through here, but this person is not expressing how they feel. Now, from this, there is this energy of you coming into abundance, but it's not without pain. I feel like you're finding your own closure here, and I feel like you're stepping into your own energy. Now, what I see here is I feel here that somebody is coming in with some sort of truth. Now, this may be expressing the feelings or the situation and coming in to give you closure with this Ace of Swords. But I feel like here with this Queen of Swords energy, you found your voice here. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to scream and yell at someone. It doesn't mean that you're giving someone a serve. It's not that sort of energy. It's like you speaking up for what you want here. So maybe you've had some sort of betrayal in a relationship, but I don't feel it's a betrayal as in somebody's cheated on you or somebody's done the wrong thing. It doesn't feel like that sort of betrayal. But maybe you're recognizing some sort of codependency in your situation. Maybe this is a fairly, a fairly new start here to something that's been going on for a while. So it may be you're being triggered here by old behaviors. But instead of responding to the old behaviors here, you're making changes within yourself to be able to speak up for what you want in this situation. And it's changing the whole context of this situation. I feel like whatever's going on here, because we have the Six of Pentacles. So you're saying to this person, I feel really disappointed, let down, whatever, that I'm putting everything into this relationship and you're not giving me anything back. So therefore I'm calling it a day and moving on. And what you've got here is a change in the other person. Now, if you felt like you couldn't change that, when I see the Tower and the Four of Wands, I'm feeling now you have someone who really wanted to invest in you in the first place, but what you're doing is you're stopping the codependent energy or the toxicity from taking a hold on this particular situation. So you're sort of changing the way that you build stability in a relationship. And that is what is so important here. So I feel like here there is very much this energy here of perhaps you're dealing with someone who either is in another situation or has something that's stopping them moving forward. And I can't help but feeling here that maybe this person not expressing their emotion is creating a wedge between the two of you. Because there's definitely this feeling here. Six of Wands is victory. Six of Cups is nostalgia. And we have the Hierophant. This is leading to marriage here. But it's about you speaking up for what you want in a relationship. It's about you being able to stand up for yourself and be assertive. Now again, this isn't yelling and screaming at anyone. It's not about fighting and arguing, because that would be more toxic. But what you're doing here is saying, if you can't provide me with what I need in this relationship, then I'm choosing to walk away. But it's changing. You doing that is changing the whole construct of this particular situation. Because you're standing up for yourself, I feel like this person is realizing the level of feelings they have for you and they don't want to let you go. But maybe it's old habits that they're bringing to the relationship that they need to recognize. Because there's definitely this feeling here of victory. Now, for some of you, this could be someone returning from the past where you walked away from this situation because of the codependent energy. So maybe you started something up with someone and you were so needy, maybe they were running, you were needy and chasing, whatever it was here, there was codependent energy in this past situation. But this time around, you're doing it differently, because this time around, you are saying, I don't want this codependency, I don't want this toxicity, I don't want this sort of energy in this situation. I love this person, I want to have long-term commitment with this person, but I don't want to do things the way I used to do them. Now, for some of you, you may have researched some of this stuff. Codependency starts very early in childhood. And I feel like here there's an energy that maybe you investigated this. Maybe you've done more work to understand it. But with this person is coming back in, but this time around, whatever it was that was holding you back in the last situation, you're putting it to bed, because we have the victory card here. And this time this person wants to invest in you. So they're not going to hold back this time around. They're going to be very honest and truthful with you, and you're going to have a brand new start, but this time you're going to do it very differently. Both of you have learned about codependency. Both of you understand what went wrong in the past situation, what you needed to close down and walk away from. That is all being put to bed here. You're moving into a brand new time, and this time you're doing it in a very different way. This particular relationship will survive and grow because you're both being honest about your feelings, you're both being honest about where you're coming from, and you both expect from the other person what they need to put into the relationship. So this time you're not excusing their bad behavior. If they don't speak up, if they do things that they shouldn't, and you're saying, if you don't do this, I can't work with you. But instead of like getting angry and upset and getting into sort of some toxicity, you're doing it in a way that you understand why you're doing it now. Look, we have the card of get grounded. So the universe saying to you here, don't get all up in your head about it, don't overthink it. Learn to speak up for yourself. That's why you have the Ace of Swords here. It's about learning to have clear communication and how to ask for what you want. Very beautiful energy. And I feel like out of this is coming a very, very healthy situation. And it talks about you're already doing it here. So maybe you do it in other areas of your life, but you're not doing it in relationships because you're scared of rejection or abandonment. So let's have a look and see what they're saying here. You're already doing it. Well, that's really funny because I can't find the card. You're already doing it. 30. Okay, I was just looking in the wrong place. Oh, okay. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Do not question things so much. You are on the right track. You are facing the right way. Stop overthinking it. It's happening and you are closer than you think. You're exactly where you need to be and things are moving at the perfect speed. Do not rush it. Now is not the time to be impatient. Now is the time to walk steady. There is no rush. What you are building is being built. What you have planted soon will blossom. With every new day, a new brick is being laid. You have come a long way. The foundations are steady. Now that all is needed for you to trust and keep walking forward. If a thought that things should be moving faster enters your head, that is just your ego comparing your rising to someone else. Comparison is not your friend. Stay in your lane, water your own garden, knowing that your time to bloom will soon come. Beautiful card to get. What an amazing card to get. So you're on the right track here. Thanks, Libra.